EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out at QB is the former North Carolina Tar Heel, Mitchell Trubisky.
I'm absolutely eager to watch him play in this game because here we are, Week 15. Not a lot of games left down the stretch. But will he get outside of himself trying to make huge plays in order to try and win an MVP? Because he's not in the #1 spot right now.
No, he's not. I think everyone consensus thinks that way. You hope he doesn't get outside of himself right now, though, because that could really get their offense out of sync. And it's been in sync most of this year. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the first play of the game. 53 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
Yeah, nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He hits Riddick underneath. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Rodgers. Out to the flat for Riddick. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him in. Don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too.
That's fine. Yeah.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Room to run past midfield. Caught left side by Cobb. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. To throw, it's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
Running with Howard. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. On first down, they run with Howard. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
This is Cohen. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On third down, Trubisky. Miller with first down and more. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Trey Burton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey with the extra point.
Trey Burton was a guy that flashed during his years with the Eagles, but he's always stuck as the third option behind Zach Ertz and Brent Sellett. Now, with the Chicago Bears, definitely going to get his shot. Versatile player, delivered right there with a touchdown catch.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Fine. Yeah.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other side. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And just like that, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Riddick. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And with a play clock about to expire, Mike McCarthy's going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Let's go, come on. Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26. Zoom. No.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This will be caught inside the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Zoom. No.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Second and goal from the 1. They get it to him running left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Theo Riddick with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Cohen. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Move.
This is Howard on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Rodgers to throw on second down. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go. They've got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 32 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket, because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
26.
Rodgers now on first down. Looking deep for Adams. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. Gets it up past the 10 with a nice move. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Trubisky to throw on second. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun is Trubisky, and it's incomplete.
A lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
They didn't have a ton of yards to pick up on that third down, but there was no way they were playing that one safe. They decided to take that one downtown. They must have felt that they had a big play that was waiting for them. Unfortunately, it was incomplete.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, 626.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. Montgomery hit and the ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, it's just
now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
The ruling on the field is reversed.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week, as his first one here's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
We're go, let's go. Hey, boy, you got 4 down. Sit up. 180.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. That's Sims. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start by zipping up to upstate New York. Detroit paying a rare visit to New Era Field to take on Buffalo. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they trail that one to the visiting Oakland Raiders. Derek Carr has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And that one all even in their matchup with the visiting Dolphins. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separate. These two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, here's Rodgers. He hits Riddick underneath. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On first down, Rodgers. Left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Riddick with a carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Hey, 626.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's Trubisky. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Now it's Trubisky. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Trubisky to throw again. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Zach Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hey, 50.
Now it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Rodgers. He's got his targets. Cobb. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On the ground, it's Riddick. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
The Packers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, 626.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's
back now at Soldier Field. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They go back to Reddick. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And that gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are back within a score. Extra point try now for Crosby.
Big score. First step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Crosby on now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They run with Howard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now Trubisky. He's going to launch this thing. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A gain of 32 that time. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On the handoff, this is Howard. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. On second down, Trubisky. Completion left side to Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Again to Howard, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
Defensively a backbreaker. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Trubisky will throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Rodgers to throw on second down. And Rodgers is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. Oh, they're holding their breath right now. That's Aaron Rodgers shaking up on the play. Still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. And some room to run now.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.